6:30. Depends how long this Pastor Haley's discussion goes. She goes, we're gonna be out here by 6:30. I said, depends on the Pastor Haley's. Oh, real quick. Do you wanna announce Jimmy Miller is the new EMA director tonight with March pending retirement, or do you want to wait?
Didn't you already send the email?
I did, yeah, and Jimmy accepted it. I didn't know publicly if we want to go ahead and do it.
I don't see where that'd be a problem.
Okay, and do you want to thank Kylie for her years of service tonight?
There we go. Yeah, we need them. We're
I
live.
think today, but we can.
Okay, all right.
Do you want me to do it, or do you want to do it?
You don't matter, either one of us. I can do Jimmy and you can do Kylie if you want.
You can do both.
I can do both. We good?
Yep.
All righty, let's call this meeting to order tonight.
Being complimentary, not in my wheelhouse.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All righty, roll call. Misty Hess, absent. She's enjoying the Florida sun while the rest of us are enjoying this Indiana sun. RJ Donovan here. Bill Peebles.
Here.
All right, we'll move on. Entertain a motion for the approval of minutes from June 3rd, 2025.
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second the motion. Any discussion? Hearing none, call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. I'll entertain a motion to approve claims from June 3rd, June 6th, June 13th, 20th, 27th, and July 3rd of 2025.
I will approve all of them but that one, which was on June 6th.
Okay. I will second the motion. Any discussion?
No.
Hearing none, call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. This one's withheld since that was the one. We'll do that next. Alrighty. Approval of payroll claims from June 6th, June 20th, and July 3rd.
I make the motion to approve.
I'll second the motion. Any discussion?
Nope.
Hearing none, call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. All right, we'll open this floor up for public comment. You have 3 minutes if you'd like to come up and speak. Mr. Scheidler.
Good evening, Eric Scheidler, Soil and Water. I just wanted to give a real quick update on our water sampling event that we just had during the county fair. We had good participation again this year. We had 63 households that had their water tested for bacteria, nitrates, and then we have a metals package that includes arsenic, copper, and lead. And all the results are back. The metals reports should go out to folks who provided us their emails tomorrow, and then those that didn't provide their emails, they'll get their results back via the U.S. mail, so whenever it gets there. And we are, because we're in the middle of a Clean Water Indiana grant, part of that Clean Water Indiana grant does allow us to provide funds for folks to retest. Normally, after this event, if they have to retest for bacteria problems, they would have to pay for that, but now, right now, we can offer that to them at no cost. And so just very happy with the event. Also on the, with the Clean Water Indiana funds, we do have several projects going on where we have folks who are taking out large acres or large pieces of mowed, manicured lawn and putting those into native grass and pollinator habitat. And we're cost sharing that with them at 75% of the cost of installation. So we've got some folks that are rewilding their yard so they don't have to mow so much. And put a little plug in, if anybody's interested in doing that, call the SWCD office and we can definitely have a conversation about that. But I just wanted to give you guys an update on that, on the water testing and let you know we had a good, we had a very successful event. So,
Awesome.
And any questions if you have any?
No, I think if people want to get updates from the Soil and Water Department, they can text your keyword, right, for the
Yes.
Text My Gov.
Yep, sure can.
All right, awesome. All right, thank
All
you,
right,
Eric.
Thank you.
Anyone else for public comment? Buddy?
Hi, I'm Buddy High. Just wanted to talk to you guys about looking at the zoning ordinances. Some of them are basically HOA rules, laws, you know, for HOA. And we live in a country. I mean, we don't have laws like that out here. I mean, you gotta have farm equipment to repair farm equipment and stuff like that. Everybody don't have $1 million to go out and buy a new piece of machinery every time it breaks. There's other ones, other zoning rules that need to be looked at also. I can't get them off my head right now. I got some other stuff going on, but I'd ask if you guys would look at them and go through them and look at them pretty close, because they're kind of out of the ballpark. I'll say it that way.
Yeah. Well, buddy, if you want, I know I would appreciate it if you want to like cite the certain areas in the code or email them to us, or even you can text me. It doesn't matter that way. What specific areas you want us to look at? Because that book is a Penny. How many pages?
286.
286 pages. So it's a
I
lot.
ain't read them all yet.
No, but it's a lot. But if there's certain sections
Yeah.
or just a general area you're concerned about, just email them to us so we can all three look at it
Okay.
together.
You guys got a number? Can you guys write me the numbers down, or
Yes.
so I can have everybody's number?
I think you got mine, buddy. So
Yeah.
I'll give Bill that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, buddy.
Yep.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, I'd like to start off. My name is Mike Kelly, live in Fairview, and I want to commend you on your letter to the Senate. I'm sorry.
So yes, yeah. I think Janet sent that to the commissioners, I believe, or actually, I think she sent it to all county government officials.
For doing away with 45Q
Yeah.
and getting your power back, turned back over to the commissioners instead of the state.
I think we're all commissioners are in favor of local control over
Okay.
state and
I was
federal.
wondering, did any of the other commissioners sign?
I don't know that they, because I just seen it today, so I don't know.
I haven't seen it yet.
It's from Jan. Penny can make sure you say was it from Janet? Does that sound right? Yeah, it's in our email. I'll make sure. Okay, yeah, I'll send. It's basically a template, and you can change it, or you can just sign it and give it. I signed mine today, but basically ask them to repeal the 45Q credits.
We
I'd
could
like
take
to
away
know-
the funding.
I would like to know if the others signed. along
Sure,
with
I know
you when they
Misty's.
get back.
Yeah, I know Misty's on vacation, but I'm sure Bill will look at that tonight. I'm sure he would.
Okay, yeah. And that's all I have.
All right,
Won't get on you about anything.
thanks, Mike. Anybody else for public comment? Ani?
Good evening, everybody. My name's Ani Mahan, and as most of you know, I'm the VSO for the county, and I just wanted to give everybody an update for the month of June. I currently have 46 active veteran files. For the month of June alone, I have filed 109 claims. I've had 6 walk-ins in regards to veterans that have all filed claims, different amounts. And then I've also done 22 other appointments and home visits for the month of June. So I've had a very productive month. American Legion Post 108 in St. Bernice have been honored with the request from the late Mayor Jack Guilfoyle to conduct the flag retirement ceremony. This is a significant event, and it will take place on Friday, July 4th at 3 p.m. at Sportland Park. We are extending an invitation to all veterans, Boy and Cub Scouts, along with the Girl Scouts who would like to participate in this ceremony. As most of you know, we have 5 American Legions in Vermilion County, which is awesome. But a lot of our members out of all 5 posts are aging, and so these guys have bared that responsibility of attending all of the funerals, and so that's been our backbone of the American Legion here in Vermilion County, for a lot of years, but we are losing those guys and gals. So we are looking for people who would be willing, to step up, and instead of honors falling on just like one American Legion post, I would like to start like a county-wide honor guard. That way it would help any veterans or anybody who would want to participate in this honor guard, who are, retired, whatever, or have that extra time, because I know a lot of our veterans are younger, and so they're still busy, with their kids and home life and working and all of that. So if anybody's interested in that, please reach out to the office and let me know. And then also, I was able to attend the Vermilion County Fair up until the storm night when I lost power, and then I had storm damage to clean up the next day. And then also, I've been working with Thrive West Central in identifying homes that need rehab with the owner-occupied rehab grant. And so after the 4th of July, I'm going to start putting boots on the ground, and I'm going to be hitting like the rural areas around Universal, Centenary, and working my way northward to the rural areas of the county, just to make sure hopefully nobody falls through the cracks. But that is my update for this month.
Awesome.
What kind of turnaround are you getting through the VA to answer these claims?
Honestly, most of the claims I have done in June are Agent Orange and Terra claims. I had a veteran in yesterday, and I wound up filing 28 different claims for this person. And then also I had a female veteran. I wound up having 15 with her, but she wound up having some other issues also. So we're working on, I have referred her to legal services for a lawsuit. Because her family has been affected from toxic exposure. So, yeah, I've sent out, I think, 8 Indiana Legal Service referrals to veterans in different capacities also. So, yeah.
Busy.
Very busy. It's been 10 plus hours every day.
So as a veteran, I want to say I appreciate the work that you're doing to help my brothers and sisters. And
Thank you. And also, I've been talking to the women more than the guys, because the women make their husbands, brothers, fathers come in when you guys don't want to. So I've been making sure I talk to the moms and everything, because you might feel great now, but it just takes one diagnosis, and they've went downhill fast. So I encourage everybody to get in. I don't care what years you were in, how long you were in, if you were National Guard, Reserve, whatever, you sign the paper, get into the office and see me ASAP. So, thank you.
Thank you, Annie. Keep up the good work. All right, any other public comment before we move on to the agenda? Hearing none and seeing none, we'll move on to new business. First on the item is pasture hay lease on the county farm. Before we open a discussion, Bill, we have 2 proposals for the pasture ground. One from Dunham Farms, and their proposal is for a 20-year lease. The first 10 years would be free. They would fix the fence, and then from years 10 through 20, it would be a $3,000 a year proposal. And then the second one is from Ellis Farms. Their proposal is for 25 years. And in lieu of payment, they had first talked about a payment, and then they had altered that per, I won't say my request, but I asked them to do that. And instead of payment of cash, they would do, let me see it on here, make sure I just say this right. Joe, am I going to say this right? Whole beef, quarter of a beef, is that right? Quarter of a beef. Value of that beef is approximately $1,300, and they would do that for the whole life of the 25-year lease. And in doing so, the commissioners would then raffle that off to a county resident. It would be a free raffle that county residents would apply for, and then we would raffle that off so someone in the county would get that beef that was, in theory, raised on county pasture ground. And then with this also, the VTA has asked for a carve out of the pasture hay lease. Less, it's 3.7 acres, is that right? 3.73 for Bill? 4. Okay. To be carved out from that. So I'll open that up for discussion, Bill.
I guess the discussion is who's gonna put the fence around the addition to the Trailhead Park?
Yeah, well, are we in favor of one of the leases over the other?
The Ellis lease,
Okay.
just a little bit more money involved, I mean.
Yeah, well, especially value-wise. If that's the case, could I have maybe VTA and someone from Ellis come up, maybe we can discuss this fence? Because I think that is one of the questions, and I think they've all got the documents, so.
Joe Ellis on behalf of Phil Ellis and Ellis Farms. Our proposal was all new fencing, nothing repaired in those areas. A nice, high-quality woven wire fence. I think it would make the property look nicer. So we wouldn't be repairing that old, however many 50-year-old some of that fence is now. We did not include in that going around a possible VTA area here. So we would probably want to adjust that. Like I said in the proposal, the beef is at this moment, roughly $1,300 worth of packaged beef, a quarter. It'd be your steaks and roasts and hamburger. And then it would be up to you, the commissioners, to designate how you want that to go, whether it go to one entity, raffle it off, or go to a food bank, or whatever the commissioners wish to do with it. Sure. Was the proposal. And we calculated over the life of it, that's probably about a $31,000 value of beef. And then of course there's about 33,000, or maybe I may have switched those two numbers up, of new fence.
It's an expensive fence project.
Well, yes, fence isn't cheap.
Right.
And if you build nice new, and we could continue to bandage it and like been done in the past, but there comes a point in time you just need to replace.
And
I believe
it's infrastructure to that piece of property that is needed. That repair, rebuilding the fence, it's needed.
Yes.
So Joe, with the VTA's proposal, do you feel that in your proposal that you would put any new fence on this, or?
I think we would absolutely have to adjust what we'd plan to do. There would be some area on the east side that would not need fence any longer. Of course, on the west side, there would need to be new fence, and also on the south side, something would need to be done there too, whether it's new or relocated or whatever. And what I would tell you is I'd leave that up to the, if we were doing it, we would leave it up to the entity that we hired to do the fence.
To do it?
Whether to move or not. And the other question is whether you locate the fence on, there's a wet ditch there that, whether you locate the fence on the east side or the west side of that.
Okay. So would this change your value? I mean, would you put more money in defense then? Or would it be about the same?
Well, no, it would be more cost for fencing in total through the whole project.
Okay.
Because essentially you're taking one straight line and you're making an L shape out of it.
Okay.
So
let me ask you that. Let me ask you this then. So since you were comfortable with the farm lease proposal, you proposed at 25 years. If this is more money in fence, would trade off and adding more years to the lease help with that?
Possibly, sure, yes. Time would add value. I might need to think about it a little bit, but maybe and I've talked with Phil some more about it, but potentially if the trails wanted to pay for some portion of fence there, it'd be above and be different or additional beyond what we had already planned on doing. That would for sure be beneficial. Okay. That there's some loss of high quality grass to utilize there. It would be some of the better quality in the area. Site, yeah.
Okay.
So there's lost value there.
Okay. Bill, do you have any questions for Joe?
I don't.
Okay. Wes?
Well, in our proposal, which I furnished to everybody, including you guys, we have decided it would be helpful to the process if we were to relocate the existing fence on the south side of the park property. I don't know what level of fencing you're going to, but this is creosote posts, every other one steel. This is the full size, I think, what is it, 48 or 46, 44 inch hog wire
Okay.
with one barbed wire. It's a good fence. We've got 6-inch creosote terminal posts, everything's in there. We would be happy to relocate that section of fence.
Okay.
And probably basically move that to the south side of the newly allocated property. And then we could go ahead and turn the corner and head down as far as that fence would carry us. We're happy to do that part, to meet you all halfway.
Sure. Joe, on Elsa's thing, the fence being relocated, would that work for your pasture, or would you rather?
Potentially, generally we build a little different. Steel posts will rot out quicker than the creosote posts, so there's a shorter lifespan, especially the more city lowland area like that. So we would build it to a little, say, a higher level.
Okay. Okay.
And I think the other way that we've tried to come to the middle in this whole process is to keep the gate in its current position and move the fence. Our original proposal was to run the fence down the west side of the creek and make a new water gap. But there's a good water gap there that we built years ago, and a gate that's there, which would provide access to that back part of that pasture.
Okay.
And the other part of that would be, we would want to locate the fence east of the creek and the tree line far enough so that if trees fell down in a storm, that they would not hit the fence, tear it down.
Okay.
One other comment. I'd want to look at some water availability there. I don't exactly remember how it worked there, but we might potentially want to put the fence on the west side and actually keep animals out of it. It's a wet ditch, not really a creek. So there is a tile. So I need to go look at it. Fence guy look at it, decide.
Okay.
As our preference.
Okay. Bill, any comments?
I have no comments. I know I've asked for compromise on this so that we can move forward to,
Sure.
you know, Vermillion Trails gets their little piece of the county farm, and I'm seeing that in action tonight. So I would like to make a motion that we go with the Ellis lease,
Okay.
and that before the first fence post is put in, Vermillion Trails and Ellis's are out there saying this is where they're going, so everybody knows exactly the location they're going, and move forward that way.
Okay.
For you, a call for some discussion on that?
Well, yeah, I'll second the motion and then potentially maybe amend the motion depending on some discussion. Les, go ahead.
Well, and my only concern with running the fence down the west side is you are gonna have a water gap. Water gaps are challenging, certainly for me. If your people can do a new water gap, there is an existing water gap, and we were trying to take advantage of that.
Sure.
And it's even hung on a swing. I mean, keep it clean, it'll work for years.
Yeah. The only thing I might ask, Bill, is that due to this potential, I say loss of good pasture ground to the farm, and their proposal was for the entirety, is that if we would consider amending the motion to extend the lease from 25 years to 30 years. That way that would give them a little bit more value, and it's, since they've lost a little bit of ground, and potentially with the fence costs, I don't know if they're going to move that fence to the south or if they're going to have to, you know, put that new fence woven wire in.
I'm open for suggestions, so.
Okay. All right. I mean, would you be in favor of that then, upping it to 30?
Joe?
Alice, do you have any?
I'll ask him. Very possibly, yeah.
Okay.
Did you say that you're gonna pay for the fence that you put in?
No, I said we would relocate the fence that we are going to remove. We're gonna relocate.
You'll build that fence,
We will relocate the fence
Yeah.
that we own, or that we put up previously.
and what you could change it to wooden posts instead of steel.
I didn't say that.
I said, would you?
Actually, I might ask that you pay for the cost of the fence on the west side.
Ordinary fence
What's
is
that,
half and
couple?
half.
It's a few hundred feet of fence.
I understand it, and I would throw that back at you, it's just a few hundred feet of fence. And I think typically with fencing law,
Right now, I'm investing 30-some thousand.
I
actually
understand, but
60,000.
typically in fence law,
What are you investing?
I build my half, you build your half.
Yeah.
And we're actually building probably more than half of it.
You're not.
Well, Bill, if we're in favor of this moving forward, what about adding this too, that you could designate, like I could be the designee, work with both parties to get this signed in the next couple weeks and work out if there's any major obstacles, I'll come back before the Board of Commissioners, but if not, we could work this out. As long as we go ahead and approve the lease and the VTA working together to get this thing moving.
Well, it's an opportunity, and I'd hate to see it be lost over 4 acres.
I don't think it'll be lost. I
Well,
think.
just-
Well,
Yes,
and obviously, you know, the Vermillion Trails Alliance, we do everything on a volunteer basis. We work on behalf of all the citizens of the county. I get nothing for this. Well, I get some pain.
and I appreciate what you've done with Vermillion Trails Alliance.
Sure.
Thank you.
What do you want?
I think if we can approve it tonight and then designate me as the point of contact to work with Les, the VTA, and Mr. Ellis of Ellis Farms to make sure the fence gets done, work out any small minor details, and then get a signed contract here before next meeting.
Okay.
So I'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you, guys. Joe will have to rework this lease a little bit on the thing, but we'll work on that. Okay, all right, moving on. Next item on the agenda, kayak launch updates. I did check on that one in Dana, and that's, didn't get a warm welcome on that one.
I didn't figure it out.
I was told it wasn't a good area anyway, but anyway, kayak launch updates. DNR on the Ann Wrights Bridge up by Forest Glen. DNR will be installing that the first week of August is what they've told me. We have a meeting next Monday on site. The second launch site located by the Eugene Covered Bridge permit is being submitted to DNR as we speak, and we are hopeful to break ground on that one with the Blue Way grant later this fall. If anybody knows of any other potential kayak launch sites along the Wabash, Big Vermilion, any tributaries, get a hold of any commissioner. The Blue Way grant awarded the Community Foundation, let me think here, I think it was $2.1 million. Half of that has to be used for education, the other half can be used for sites. So if anybody knows of any sites, please let the commissioners know. All right, Bill, do you have anything on that or?
I do not.
Nope, okay.
I do have one question. The bridge pillars that have been painted with kayaker on it.
Yes.
Were we going to see if we can get one painted with a Native American in a canoe on one of them?
I had asked the Community Foundation that, and the foundation, I won't say said no to it, but they were going to work with the artist on that and decide. They're going to paint a second mural on the, what do you want to call it? Ann Wrights Bridge location. So I told him it'd be nice because that's going to be called the Yasanaman site. So that would be kind of nice to play into that a little bit. So I'll reach out to Dale and Kim and bring that back up for discussion. All right. Next item, budget consulting agreement. So I had mentioned to both commissioners. I guess we can do this now. Kylie Yoakum has decided to take a new job outside of the county. We would like to thank her for her time, not only at the highway department, but throughout the entire county. And with that, we've hired or Mike has hired a new person to go in there, and there may be some training that's needed. So I don't have a budget consulting agreement in front of me. Oh no, that's not that one. That's for Scott Craig. But anyway, there is a consulting agreement that's being drafted for Kylie in that position for the new hire to bring in someone to help. So I'll forward that to the commissioners for review. We do have money and several budget line items that could pay for that, so be on the lookout for that. The budget consulting agreement is. Do I have that in my packet?
You should have, yes.
I don't have it up
If
here.
not, look in it should be the one in the first couple ones.
All right. All right, budget consulting agreement. Scott Craig with Cox, Werner, Gable, and Sullivan has been providing budget consulting services for the county council since 2019 or 2020. We don't have an updated agreement. Last one was signed a couple years ago. You can glance through it, but this is all that they'll provide, and they're just asking us that we approve that so they can continue to work with the auditor and the county council on reports. If you don't have any issues with it, I'll entertain a motion.
No, I'll make a motion to approve it.
Okay. I'll second the motion. Any discussion?
No.
Nope. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. That was a housekeeping item. All right, first deputy requesting the purchase of a retired laptop from the coroner's office. In your packet, you'll see there was an HP laptop. It was the coroner's old laptop. It has been swiped clean of all county business. Our technology group, EAS, has valued the laptop at $175. Misty Sandlin is requesting that she purchase that for the $175 as presented. We've done this previously with Paige Kilgore with one of her items. So if there's no issues, I'll entertain a motion to approve that purchase.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second the motion. Any discussion?
No.
Nope. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. And last but not least, Mayor Moore.
You're always the mayor.
I didn't say mayor on here, but I thought that'd be,
John Moore.
It does, Mayor. Well, that's not.
Development. And what I'm handing you is
You, John?
references from the legislative code in regard to commission members. What it boils down to is back in 2018, when we were created, the commissioners in service at that time kept trying to get a non-voting advisor from North Vermillion School. They had one that they picked that showed up for 3 meetings, one that showed up for one that never showed up, and then we couldn't get anybody in either corporation interested in coming. Now we've got a guy that says he would be more than happy to do it. And attached to my cover page are letters from North Vermillion School Board and South Vermillion School Board selecting him unanimously to be their non-voting advisor for the school board corporation. So I'm asking you guys to appoint Doc Sutherland as the school board's non-voting advisor to the redevelopment.
Sure.
I will make that motion.
I'll second the motion. Any discussion?
No.
Hearing none, call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank
John. All right. Last item on the agenda, not on the agenda, it's more of an announcement. The commissioners are pleased to announce 911 Director Jimmy Miller will be assuming the role of EMA Director effective January 1st of 2026. Mark O'Hare has notified the commissioners of his intent to retire, and we'd like to publicly thank him for his service of years and dedication to the county. Over the next few months, they will be working together to transition and make a smooth transition into January. Bill, anything else?
Along with those duties, he will still be the 911
Yes.
director for the county as well.
Yep.
So
Absolutely. Yep, we're going to be putting those duties together and with a reduction of salary as well. So we will be saving some salary to the county. I don't have that number in front of me. I want to say it was
it's like $5,000.
$5,000 in savings in doing both positions. So we look forward to working with Director Miller. And again, I mentioned earlier, but Kylie Yoakum is moving on to a new role. And again, we'd just like to thank her for her service to the county. Anything else, Bill? Do you have? John, anything? All right, with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Meeting adjourned. Thank you.
John.
That's a record 35.
Have you been down
This
to
was
Indiana recently?
approved last,
Bloomington?
it just wasn't signed.